Hello, and welcome to the Wayward Skein podcast. My name is Lynn. This is episode 11, and it is Sunday, August 26th. I had intended to record yesterday, but I left my show notes on the printer at the office, and the building was closed yesterday, so I couldn't go get them. So you get it a day late, $1 short, and I'm working with what I got here. So I wanted to mention the giveaway that we're having right now because I reached 250 members on both YouTube and Ravelry. My friend Brandy Miller, who is Eat My Yarns on Ravelry and Brandy Miller Designs, offered to give two copies of, well, two of any of her patterns to two lucky winners. So one winner on Ravelry, one winner on YouTube. To enter on YouTube, all you have to do is go to the episode 10 page and leave a comment with whichever pattern you've knit more than once. If you've never knit a pattern more than once, say so, it'll count as an entry. It has to be on episode 10 then. If it's on this episode, it won't count. So please go over to the last episode and leave the comment. Enid, I know this top bothers you. I am wearing a shirt. Last time I wore this, she was like, I thought you were recording topless. Enid. As if I would record topless. BKN's sure, not recording. I don't do BKN's topless. I sometimes, well, okay, never mind. I don't. Only private ones. And it's only because it's hot in my apartment. It's not because I want to flash people. So now that you know far too much about me, to enter on Ravelry, all you have to do, there's a giveaway thread. It's called the Brandy Miller giveaway, I think. Go in there and leave a comment about which patterns you've knit more than once, which ones you like doing more than once. If you link it, extra brownie points because I like adding stuff to my queue. I've already added quite a bit from this week. So head on in there and let us know what you like to knit frequently. I personally am a sucker for the baby surprise jacket. I knit the flax several times. I've knit several barley hats. My socks. I knit the same pattern for socks all the time. But I'm going to shock you guys today because I have a different pattern for socks. But we'll get to that. Knitting comes later. So first we're going to talk about tea. And I'm still trying to sort of like gauge the taste of this. Sorry for slurping, but it's hot. It's the first time I'm trying it. It tastes almost caramel apple-y. It's got apples. It's got little pieces of caramel in it. It's got coconut. It's got, let's see, It's called Valerian Nights. It's a David's tea. Sorry, I'll put that up there so you can see it. There you go. It was in this little packet that right here, that my boss had brought back for me. She had brought this in for me one day. It's a little packet of 5 different tea bags. I do have a listing of what was in it. It was Serenity Now, which is still in here. Forever Flawless, which I drink. Valerian Nights, Lemon Cayenne. Oh no, it was the Lemon Cayenne Cleanse that I had drank. Honestly, I don't go in for all the whole, this tea will cure you, or this tea will cleanse, like, it will detox your body. I don't go in for that, because that's not how science works. But I like tea, so I'm gonna drink it anyway. The Lemon Cayenne Cleanse was the one I tried before this, and I was anticipating a lot more spice. It kind of smelled like lemon pledge and didn't have much flavor at all, so I was a little disappointed. This one, however, is absolutely delicious. It tastes like a caramel apple. It's super amazing, and I'm really enjoying it. So, it's a very... Sorry, I'm just going to take the tea bag out of the cup because it's dripping. These things act like wicks and candles, and you end up having tea dripping from the little paper tag at the bottom. So I'm just going to put that on the plate over there. I am very much enjoying this tea. It's just a little too hot to be able to enjoy properly. So normally I wait a little longer before recording after I've made my tea, but as you might be able to tell from the window back there, it is dark. It's late. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I have to go to work tomorrow, so I have to go to bed at a reasonable hour. So that's what That's why it's so hot. Since it's the last weekend of the month, and I said last month that I was going to try to do this on the last episode of every month, it is time for birthday shout-outs. Yay! So, and there are quite a few, because the last time I did this, we only had 50 people in the group. We now have 320 something, I think. So, wow, I'm floored. I don't know where you all came from. Well, okay, I have a good idea where you all came from, but I'm super glad to have you here. And if any of you have joined since I left work on Friday evening, I'm sorry I don't have you on the list because I don't have Excel at home, so I can't download the list and check it. But I've got a spreadsheet for this. Okay. Yes, I have spreadsheets for just about everything. So I created a spreadsheet to keep all your birthdays straight so I wouldn't forget anybody. For this month, August birthdays, Knit Gal, who is Dawn, Disa Craftwork, who is Disa in Germany. Hi, Disa. She's a good friend of Selma's. Dancing Leaf 06, who is Diane. Huntress 1327, who is Jen. Cheryl Can, who is my friend Cheryl from, I forget where you're from, I'm sorry. Hazel, it's also her real name, or she just didn't want to put a real name, so I don't know. RTN 1946, who is Tammy. I'm sorry, I'm reading these off a list, so that's why I'm looking down. Soccer Ballet Mom, who is Roseanne. Yarn Junkie Mom, who is Chrissy. Auntie Nana NZ, I'm assuming that stands for New Zealand, who is Megan. Lynn Knitter, at least I'm presuming it's Lynn Knitter and not Link Knitter because her name is Linda, so happy birthday. AE Mummy, who is MJ. Shazky, who is Charmaine. Appaloosa, who is Lou. Dragon Lady, who is Yvonne. Mikaria, who is Michaela. Red Yarn Knits, who is Tiffany. Yellow's the X5, who is my Michael. Hello, Michael. Big hugs for your birthday. Ty Morale, who is Tyler, who is also a really good friend of mine, so slightly smaller squishies because none of you need to see my bingo wins twice. Crazy Knittin' Nana, who is Terry, and Truffles06, who is Sarah. So happy birthday to all of you. I am amazed at, wait till you guys hit October, because I've discovered no matter what group of people, there are more people born in October than any other month. And like, it was really obvious in this group. Maybe it's just because people who like fall flock to me. I don't know. That's rather conceited of me. No, I have noticed in the past that October tends to have more people born in it than most other months. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's 9 months after, well, it's after Valentine's Day. I don't know. Are we all Valentine's Day babies? I was late. I may be a New Year's Eve baby. Actually, I think I'm a my mom's birthday baby. My mom was born on January 9th, so I might be a mom's birthday baby. I don't really want to know. So now we can jump into knitting. I have actually forced myself to put things down when I get to a certain point this week because I didn't want to jump ahead and neglect everything else I was doing. So I did hit, this is upside down. I did hit the end of section 2 in my Find Your Fate, and it's actually a lot longer than this. I just have a short needle. That's all I got. So I don't have a longer one for the size 7, so this is what I'm working with right now. I was afraid that I would not be able to see the stripes because there was so much orange in the teal yarn, but look at this. You can totally see those stripes, and they are gorgeous. So I'm super excited. I get to add, sorry, I hope I don't shake the camera doing that. I get to add this ball now to the rest of this. So this is the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki, who is teaching classes at whatever the Knit Girls retreat. She's teaching classes, I think, this year at that, along with Hohi Locatelli. So the two of them, I believe, are teaching classes this year at, is it SSK that the Knit Girls do? I will likely never get to go, so I've never really bothered to memorize the name of it. I'm sorry. That's rude of me. But, so this is the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. It is entirely out of Night Owl Fibers, who is one of my favorite indie dyers. I love Rachel to death. Her mom is great. Well, I haven't met her sister. Her puppies are great. She's just fantastic. She is the smartest I know I was calling her a kid in the last episode, and I feel kind of bad because she is a grown-ass adult. So, I'm sorry, Rachel, you're not a kid. I should stop calling you a kid. I just feel really old when I'm around her because she's been so driven and so successful at such a young age that I'm completely floored by her. She's amazing. Great business sense, great color sense, as you can see. So, Night Owl Fibers. Sorry, that's my upstairs neighbor's kids banging around. They do stomp an awful lot. Usually it's done by this time of night, but So the first color is this gorgeous thing. It's blue, teal, orange. There's a bit of brown, bit of whitish bits. It is called Rusted Hook. And these are all in her basic sock base, which is, I think, 465 yards for 100 grams. So it's quite generous. This is the second color. This is Pumpkin Spice Latte. She came up with this just before Stitches Midwest last year. Come on, focus. There you go. Look at that. The colors are fantastic. And the third one that I'm going to be adding in tomorrow is Leather Boots. And I honestly just went on her website last year because I didn't have any money at Stitches Midwest, so I didn't buy a lot of yarn. I went on her website after she got back from Stitches Midwest to order this. And then I saw the other two. And I was like, gimme. So I ordered all three and put them in a bag and completely forgot about them. And then a few weeks ago I was looking for something else and I found them and I was like, nope, this has to be a Color Affection. So I'm working on it. I can probably show you a picture of what a Color Affection looks like. I can find a picture of the cover. This has been spilled on, it's been ruined, so that's what the Color Affection looks like. Come on, focus up in there. There we go. So you can see the wedge. Here I'm going to start doing short rows in the third section, I assume, because it just keeps going off the edge. And, or rather, the stripes sort of end along the side here, in the middle. So I'm assuming that's done with short rows. I don't know yet, because I haven't read that far. But I'm loving it. It is gorgeous. It's squishy. I'm totally in love with this thing right now. And I made myself stop at the end of section 2 because I wanted to concentrate a little bit on some other knitting I was doing. So I am absolutely in love with this and I can't wait to keep going. I will have no problem picking it up again tomorrow. Other knitting, well, last time you guys, sorry, I'm going to disengage it from the Color Affection because I went and got the yarn stuck in the needles. Yeah. I'll get this sooner or later. This is why we shouldn't have 20 projects on our desk. All loose. So the last time you saw the sock, it was only about 5 rows in, I think. So I was like right here. And so I finished the leg. I'm ready for the heel flap now. Sorry. There you go. Not that you need a close-up of my middle finger, but there we are. That's Rob's sock. This is my standard pattern, which is Sock Recipe, a Good Plain Sock by Stephanie Pearl McPhee. It's out of her knitting rules book. This is made out of, and this is blowing it out, well, everything's being blown out because it's nighttime and the lighting sucks in here. I actually have my desk lamp pointed towards the wall in front of me so that it reflects back. Because if I point it towards me, I'm just a white sheet. So this is done out of Bergère de France. I was trying to remember the name of the company. It is their Luberon base. I'm not very fond of it. I think it's a standard 75-25 or an 80-20, but I don't like the feel of it. It's got a really, I don't know, Crystal called it rustic, but it's not so much rustic as it just does not feel like a very high quality yarn. I don't like it. It's a bizarre feeling, and I told Rob he's not getting another pair of socks. He will get more socks, just not out of this yarn. So that's why I'm in a rush to finish this and get it off my needles and knit something pleasant. It's not unpleasant to knit, it's just, compared to the other things I'm knitting right now, this is like, I knit this on the bus. So this is, I usually get 5 rows done in the morning, 5 rows done in the afternoon. If I feel like doing a complicated part like the heel turn or the flap or whatever, I will do it at home, but mostly this has been bus knitting and lunchtime knitting at work. So I'm hoping to finish it by next weekend because I will be in Chicago next weekend. Rob was actually giving me hell last night because he's up to episode 7. And he says, "How dare you show socks on sock blockers that aren't mine?" Because I had them on these wire sock blockers that Selma gave me for Christmas a couple of years ago, instead of on the plastic ones that he's made me. So he was like, "What? They're my socks and you can't put them on my sock blockers?" Because Rob makes custom sock blockers that he sells on Etsy. The shop name is Schwarzcraft, and he was like, "How can you not plug me? You plug everybody else, but not me." So I promised him that when they're finished, they will be on his sock blocker. Well, they'll probably be on a pair of sock blockers that he has at his house because I'm not going to pack them. They're too... my stuff gets tossed around a lot when I'm flying, so I'm going to... I don't trust my bag. Because I usually gate check it and it gets like tossed on top of the luggage. So we won't be doing that with the sock blockers because I don't want to break them. I love my sock blockers, the plastic ones that he's made me, because I have at least one pair. I think I have 2 of his sock blockers. So that's that sock. The colorway is Eau Vive, and I do my socks on 2.5 millimeter needles, which are US 1.5. These are my carbons, my Knitter's Pride carbons, which I absolutely love. They are fantastic. They don't slip. They have a good grip to them. I don't mind the joins between the tips. I've heard some people have a problem with them. Mine are smooth. They're fantastic. I love them. And in my purse, this is what keeps my needles from going all over the place, keeps the stitches from falling off my needles. It's a needle minder from the lovely Mandy of Mandy Pinecone Crafts. It's got her signature pink fabric on the inside. Almost all of the needle keepers she's given me have that pink fabric. I think there's one that doesn't. So that's what I've been working on, those 2 things. And then yesterday I cast on something new. I'm not working on my winter long right now because it's gotten long enough that it sort of bunches on my lap and it's hot. It cooled down a bit this week, not enough. I will pick that back up when it's less than 25 degrees in my apartment with the air conditioning on. So for now, that's on hold. It's in its little bag on the chair next to me. So it will be worked on again soon, but not until it cools down a bit. So I'm going to have another little drink of tea here. Now it's cold enough that I can really, yeah, you can really taste the coconut and the caramel and the apple. It's really tasty, which is good because I've had valerian tea before and I didn't like it. I think the last time I had some was at our work. We had an annual all staff meeting, and the only herbal tea they had was valerian, so I tried it and it was awful. It wasn't David's, it was, I don't remember now, but they were little tea bags and it was nasty. So this, I'm actually quite happy that I like this because valerian tea is good for relaxing you before you go to bed. It's actually, valerian is often used for people who have insomnia, for anybody who follows like herbal type stuff. And anyway, so I'm glad I like it. The last project I'm working on, I wound this last night at my friend Sylvie's house. I went over to her house last night because it was her birthday on Friday, and I walked in with a skeiny yarn, and I said, "This is your present. There's some assembly required. I'm knitting you a pair of socks." Sylvie has been begging her wife to knit her a pair of socks for at least 2 years now, because Sarah's also a knitter. She's Rabbit Ribbit on Ravelry and Rabbit Ribbit Lamb on Etsy. She makes stitch markers out of semi-precious stones and stuff. Sorry, there's a fly around here that's driving me nuts. My door stayed open the other day, so now I have flies. Hooray! So anyway, I was at their place and I had this skeined up, and you really can't see the colors all that well because it's blowing it out. Come on, focus. You know you want to. It would help if I had steadier hands, but I do not. Anyway, it's this gorgeous pale blue with pops of blue and green, and it's got a little speckled part that's black and yellow too. That's a little odd, but it works with the rest of the yarn. This is Tilting Planet, and if you've never used Tilting Planet yarn, you need to get your hands on this. This is their Apollo sock base. It is a, I have the label, where to put it? I've moved so much stuff around that it's, there it is. This is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. It's so soft. I swore there had to be cashmere in this. It is amazingly soft for a 75-25. I've never felt a plain old sock yarn this soft. It's so nice. If you haven't knit with it, treat yourself, get some of this. It's Tilting Planet. Sorry, let's not tilt the label. Tilting Planet, come on. There we go. This is the information on the back. Colorway is Ocean in a Bucket. Sorry I'm moving around so much. I really do not have steady hands. There's her website there, tiltingplanet.etsy.com. It's a generous 437 yards per 100 grams, and so soft. So I wound it last night at Sylvie's house, and I didn't really start knitting with it till today. I started the cuff yesterday. Sorry, I'm going to stretch it out a bit so you can see the pattern. So I started knitting the ribbing last night. Sorry. Come on, focus. There we go. So this pattern is the Peppermint Mocha Socks by CC Alman. I actually have a picture of it. I don't know if it's going to pop up. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. There we go. So that's a good representation of the pattern. It's a lot more even than my first few rows have been. So it is out of the Coffee with CC book by CC Alman and her daughter. Crap. I really should have looked that up before. Sorry. So it's a book that was given to us a couple of years ago for review, and we did review it at the time on Two Tangled Skeins, but I had never knit anything out of it. I love the look of these socks. I'm not going to tell you how it's done because it is, you know, you can buy the book or you can just buy the individual pattern on Ravelry. But this yarn and this pattern are just really working for me. I'm loving the way it's looking. Come on. There we go. I'm loving the way it's looking, and it's so soft to knit. Oh. It is a charted pattern, so I'm not going to be able to work on these on the bus because I do need to keep track of where I'm at in the pattern. So unfortunately, it's not going to work. But hey, Sylvia, look at how big your sock's getting. This is the first sock. And these are, they're arrow needles. I actually had to buy 2 sets to get 5 because they come in a set of 4. Where's my 5th needle? Oh, it's in here. So they're actually not too bad. They're pretty pointy. They're really slippy though, especially with this yarn. I'm having a lot of trouble. They're really slidey. It's happened a couple of times where I've almost pulled the needle right out of the knitting. I may switch them over to the carbons when I'm done because it's the same size. It's 2.5 millimeter. So I think I will switch them over to the carbons when I'm done with Rob's sock because these are slidey and I'm not enjoying it. It's driving me a little bit bonkers that they're that slidey. So was there anything else I had to tell you about this? Nope, I told you the colorway, I told you all that. And these are living in my adorable, come on, Slip Stitch Studios. Come on. It's a little needle keeper with ninjas on it. Sorry, now I've screwed up the focus. It's going to take an hour to get back. It's made out of flannel, so it's a lot heavier than most needle keepers, and it's made for 8-inch needles. It's actually got 3 snaps because you can either do all 3, or you can, once the sock is on the needles, come on, you do the 2 outer. This is going to give me a hard time now because I want to show you. And the sock comes out down through the middle. So it takes up this whole space. But if you just have needles in here, you can do that. Or it's also good if you've got something on circular needles. So it's a little more versatile than my regular ones, and it's got this nice little zippered pouch here that you can put like notions in, little needles or stitch markers or whatever, with little polka dots. I think the polka dots are on the inside too. Yeah. So this is honestly the only needle keeper I've ever bought. I fell in love with it. I saw it on her Etsy shop, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I was like, I need the flannel ninjas. So the flannel ninjas came to live with me, and I love them. I don't use them very often because it is such a big one, but this one's going to live at home, so it's not a big deal. So that's all the knitting I've done this week. I've done very little reading. It's mostly been, you know, as I said last week, it's mostly been PowerPoint reading. I'm a little frustrated because the class I'm taking is about PowerPoint 2016, and I have 2010 at work, so there's some of the functions and features that I just don't have. And there's a way to access the college's software, but I can't do it on my work computer because it's blocked. So I'm getting very frustrated. I finally sat down and told my instructor, I said, look, I know you have to take off points whenever I don't use the right theme or whatever that isn't available in my version. Fine, I'm okay with that. But if I start running into functional problems, I may have to start, you know, actually physically going to the college and using the labs to get my assignments done. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to show you guys my underwear. I'm just really bad at it. I'm sticky. It's hot in here. And my shirt is sticking to me and following where the sticky is. Not that you need to know that either. I'm just all about the TMI tonight. And I don't mind having tea that's going to knock me out because I'm going to bed as soon as this is up. So I finally gave up on Sliders. I got 2 episodes into season 5. And, sorry, choking on my tea now. The O'Connell brothers left the series in season 5. They didn't come back for season 5. Basically what happened was after 3 seasons, the show was canceled. And the newly minted Sci-Fi Channel at the time picked it up and did the last 2 seasons. Sabrina Lloyd, who played Wade Wells, didn't want to be in it anymore, so she left at the end of season 3. The O'Connell, well, Jerry O'Connell's younger brother Charlie joined the cast in season 4, as well as a bunch of other people. But so he became one of the core 4 people. And at the end of season 4, they both left. I think it was planned because the story got rid of both those characters. And so they brought in somebody else. And no, I mean, I was watching the show because I really liked Jerry O'Connell. And he, to me, was Sliders. He was the central character. He was the guy who started it all, and I just wasn't... I did some research. I actually found out that they were supposed to be a season 6, and because the ratings were so bad after season 5, they decided to scrap it. So season 5 actually ends on a cliffhanger. I don't need that in my life. I went through that with Firefly. I'm not doing it again. So when I found out that the series ends on a cliffhanger, I was like, nah, not going to do it. I have heard that somebody has remade Sliders as maybe a movie, but not with those people. I saw something weird about that. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what's going on. I decided, you know, I sat around for a couple of days watching podcasts going, what am I going to watch? What am I going to watch? So I decided to, I came across this CNET article about how to watch all the Marvel TV shows and movies in the right order. So I was like, I would do that. I'm having fun with the Marvel stuff. I really, really enjoy it. Although I kind of got tired of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the first 4 seasons. It just kind of lost its appeal for me. But I think it was when they got trapped on in another dimension or something like that. I don't know. That kind of soured it for me. But I'm willing to give it another shot. I have started at the beginning of what the CNET article said you should start with, which was Captain America. I watched it a couple of days ago. I love that movie so much. I love Haley Atwell. I love Chris Evans. so much. Sebastian Stan's pretty good too. Can't complain there. And I love Hugo Weaving. So, you know, all the characters, all the actors were like, yes. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So, I watched that, and then I dropped into the first 2 episodes of the Agent Carter series, which I had never seen before. Apparently it's only two seasons. And they're short seasons. The first one, I think, has 8 episodes, and the second one has 10. So they're almost like British series. But I'm about to start the 3rd episode of Agent Carter tomorrow night, because I'm not doing that tonight. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty campy, but I'm enjoying it. Dominic Cooper was in the first episode, so that was a plus. I don't think he's in the rest of the series, but he's the one who plays Howard Stark in Captain America, and he's also in the Mamma Mia movies, and I love him as an actor. He's hilarious, and I just really enjoy him. So I was really happy to see him in the first episode, and they had a lot of flashback scenes from the movie, so that was kind of nice too. But then, you know, as the second episode comes on, there's less and less of that. So I'm really enjoying the guy who plays Jarvis. I don't know what his name is. Haley Atwell, of course, is playing Agent Carter. I really like her. She's a character. I'm enjoying the guy who plays Jarvis. I feel so bad for his wife, the character, not the actor, because he keeps going, well, my wife needs me. You can't call me this late at night. It's really funny. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I don't remember what comes next. The CNET article will tell me. I have it bookmarked, so that'll tell me what comes next. So I have watched quite a few podcasts this week. The Knit Girls actually have another episode out. I swear to God they're recording twice a week. I swear. Because episode 403 came out, and I watched it that day. And then, like, 2 days later, there was a 404. I'm like, guys, slow down. But I never get tired of watching them, so it's all fun. So if you have not checked out the Knit Girls, I don't know what planet you're on, but you need to check them out. They're a lot of fun. They're super nice ladies as well. I've met both of them. And they're a lot of fun. So check them out. Ninja Chickens has a new episode. I haven't talked to you guys about Ninja Chickens yet because I haven't caught up with her yet. But she has a new episode out. That was, I enjoyed that as well. I got to her through The Gentle Knitter, who I have talked to you guys about. The Gentle Knitter is actually a local podcaster. She lives in the same city as me. And I find her just very relaxing. The Ninja Chickens podcast is more of a sort of homesteady, doing things naturally. She gives out a lot of tea recipes. Like, she makes her own tea blends. And she gives out a lot of herbal recipes for teas and things like that, which I find really fun and informative. And she and her husband live sort of in the country and have like chickens and things like that. So I really enjoy watching her for that aspect of it as well as the knitting. She does a lot of natural dyeing. She does botanical dyes on silk scarves, which are amazing. That's where you take leaves and flowers and stuff and you roll them up tight in the silk, wet. I think there's a mordant involved. I don't remember. Honestly, it's been a while since I've watched one of her episodes because I stopped watching podcasts in April 2016. So, no, not April 20. Yeah, maybe. I don't remember now. But anyway, it was a while ago, so I have a lot of catching up to do. And but she does some amazing stuff with just things she finds around the yard. And it always floors me. It's amazing for the stuff she makes. It's beautiful. So check her out. She's got a really cool podcast. Dunkelgrün also has a new episode out. I know I pronounced that wrong, but I can't quite get my mouth around the sound of it. So she's got a new episode. This one is more about, last week's was Baby Knits? Or this week's was Baby Knits? I don't remember. I'm sorry. And a big milestone. Must Love Yarns hit their 100 episode milestone a week and a half ago, I guess. So they're actually on episode 101 right now, but I missed the fact last week that they had done, I think they did it the day after I recorded. and now they're at the next episode. So I don't know. I probably missed the 100 episode, but that it had gone by. I mean, so I didn't mention it last week. But yeah, they've hit their 100 episode milestone. Angie and Kelly are fabulous. They are hilarious. I love watching them. I'll have to ask them one of these days why the third owner doesn't podcast with them. I don't know. There are 3 ladies who own the yarn store, and if you go to their website, you'll see the whole story behind it. So I'm not sure why she doesn't podcast with them. I may have actually met her a few times in the store, because the 2 of them, I think I've met Angela before, but I've never seen Kelly at the store. I've seen them at Rhinebeck, obviously, but I've never seen Kelly at the store. So they're definitely worth checking out. I really love their shop. I love their podcast. If you are ever in the Burlington area in Vermont, they're in Shelburne, which is just outside of Burlington. Their shop is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And they just recently moved. They moved beginning of the summer or end of fall last year. I think it was this spring that they moved to the new shop. And I haven't been to the new one yet, because I've only been to Burlington once this year, which I kind of feel bad about, but I haven't had a lot of travel funds this year. It's not so much that I don't have time. I do have the time, because, like, Burlington's a day trip. It's 3 hours away, 3.5. So Rob and I drove down, the last time he was here in July. We drove down for the day, and then we drove home the same day. So it's not a difficult place to reach. It's pretty much like driving to Montreal. So anyway, if you get the chance to go, absolutely go to their shop. It's fantastic. It's worth seeing, and they're pretty great. So go in and say hi. I do. I think it was Angela who was in the store the time that I went with Rob, because he also makes, out of the waste from the sock blockers, he makes these little round plastic discs, and it says round TUIT, and he gives them to people, but he's trying to make keychains out of them if he can figure out where to. Anyway, they'll probably have to use the thicker plastic to make keychains out of them so they don't break. But he makes these little things, and they're called round tuits, and he gives them to people, and he says it's for when you need to get around to it. Which is corny and funny, and I love it. So I believe he gave one to Angela when we went to the store, so I thought that was really funny. And she wasn't quite sure what to do with it. She was very nice to him, and she still has it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. So go check out Must Love Yarn. That's about all I've watched this week. It's been a crazy week. I had 2 full days in the office this week. It was nuts. If you don't care about what's going on in my life, you can just duck out now. My son went to the dentist on Monday morning to have a tooth extracted. It was all the way at the back, and it needed to come out. So the dentist pulled the tooth, and one of the roots broke off. So as he's digging around trying to get the root out, he punctured up into Zachary's sinus. So, and you could tell as soon as it happened, because Zach's whole body just jerked. And I'm like, oh, something just happened that wasn't right. And the dentist goes, uh-oh. Which is never what you want to hear from the guy with tools in your mouth. So while we were freaking out, trying to figure out what to do, he gave Zachary a whole bunch more local anesthetic. And his office manager was calling around to surgeons to see who could see him right away. And we ended up spending the rest of the morning in a surgeon's office. So poor Zach, he had an awful week. It was not fun. He was in a lot of pain for a few days. It's getting better now, and we go in for our we go in Thursday night for them to make sure everything's going all right, and that he's not going to have any lasting problems from this. So yeah, it was fun. I was supposed to be at work by 10 o'clock on Monday morning because his dentist appointment was at 8. I spent the entire day. Surgeon's office, pharmacy, grocery store to get him stuff he could actually eat, because he could only eat soft, like things he didn't have to chew. So he ate a lot of Chef Boyardee and soup and pudding and yogurt. A little bit of ice cream. He got his McFlurry on the way home from the dentist because his face hurt and he deserved a McFlurry, damn it. So Tuesday we had an appointment for my daughter for something else, so I had to leave work early to go to her appointment. So we met with her school and she's all set up for her work. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a program where they go to work for part of the year. It's not co-op. It's it's different from a high school diploma, but for the job she wants to do, it works perfectly fine because she doesn't need a high school diploma to get into the college program she wants. So we went and got her all squared away, and then Wednesday I was at work, and then Thursday I had physio. And my physiotherapist is actually going away for a few weeks, and I'm a little sad, but while he's gone, I'll be going to see the masseuse in that clinic. So I've consoled myself a little bit. I'm not going to be too broken up about it. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. And then there was Sylvie's birthday on Friday, so I went over to their place on Saturday and ended up with a killer migraine that is still kind of niggling at me today. So, yay. Yeah, it was not going away last night. I took drugs. I took some Advil twice. Nothing. So today was largely spent feeling hungover and unhappy, and but we had fun at my mom's this afternoon. We always go to my parents for dinner on Sundays, so we went over, and I have my leftovers for lunch tomorrow. She always sends me home with leftovers, and it occurs to me now that I forgot the bag of rhubarb that I picked on her kitchen counter, but that's fine. I still have some in the freezer, and she can make use of it, or one of my aunts can, or somebody will use it. It never goes to waste. So now that I'm just babbling incoherently and making no sense, I will say goodnight to you. I will try to get this up as quickly as possible, and I hope you all have a great week. And try not to poke anybody with pointy sticks. See ya. Have a great week.